Sir, is it audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um, Kanimut sir.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Okay, sir, okay, sir. Good morning, everyone. So welcome you all for the final day session. So Dr. S. Kanimuthu sir is going to be give the session, the topic of data science, insight into data science. Welcome you, sir.
Thank
Uh,
you, sir.
Dr. S. Kanimuthu sir is currently working as a professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Karpagam College of Engineering. He's an IEEE member. He's an IBM certified cybersecurity analyst. He did PhD in computer science and engineering at Anna University, Chennai. He did his ME computer science and BTech IT at Anna University, Chennai. He has more than 16 years of teaching. He is recognized supervisor of Anna University, Chennai. Three PhD candidates are completed their research under his guidance. He is now guiding eight PhD research scholars. He has published more than 60 plus journals, international journals, both the SCA and Scopus journals. He published five textbooks in reputed publications. His research interests include, area includes artificial intelligence, data structures, algorithms, and machine learning, computer vision, big data analytics, blockchain, and virtual reality, and data science. So he received more than 10 awards and honors in the teaching community. Today he is going to lecture in the important and recent trending topic, insight into data science. So once again, I welcome you, sir,
Thank you, sir.
and thank you all for joining in this session. So now you can start your session, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, professors. This is Kanimuthu from Karpagam College of Engineering, uh, working as professor for IT department. First of all, I must thank the management of Hindusthan institutions, principal sir, HOD, IT, and Ganesan sir for providing this wonderful opportunity to present this session in insight into data science concept with Python. Today's agenda is to discuss about introduction of data science with few examples, and I wish to explain straight away explaining the how to implement data science applications with the help of Python libraries for completing the data science task by using numeric Python, pandas, and scikit-learn. And I wish to explain the algorithm aspects of data analytics part, especially linear regression, logistic regression algorithms. And I will introduce some of the other algorithms called neural networks, Bayesian learning, etc. Data science is all around us. Can you imagine? Have you ever wondered about how a taxi while estimates the fare amount after the ride? Can you imagine how Zomato, Swiggy predicts the delivery time after placing an order? Uh, you may get information about delivery time. That is not exact one. That is approximate one before delivering the product or item. They will tell the delivery time and how Amazon, Flipkart, and other order processing system suggest item for you to buy. Can you just imagine how Gmail auto filters the mails to spam from the inbox and categories and non-spam categories also, and how Netflix Hotstar recommends the source of your size when you log in into the app, mobile app as well as the standard app. These are the things that you are realizing today makes use of data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence concept internally. Okay. These solutions are beneficial to the end user, for making effective decisions. And you can select or uh, buy a particular product of your size efficiently and effectively with the help of data science and business concept. So, what is data science? It is a branch of AI only. Data science, also known as data-driven science. Uh, Previously, we have several solutions for solving the problem. There is a we use programming-driven science. Nowadays, we are using data-driven science. That is, we are solving the problem. We are solving several computer-related problems by using the data. It is an interdisciplinary field about scientific methods, processes, and systems to find user information or extracting knowledge from the uh, database that is of either structured or unstructured one. It makes use of techniques and theories drawn from several fields within the context of mathematics, statistics, computer science, and domain knowledge of uh, users. Since it is an interdisciplinary field, it makes use of linear algebra for mathematics. It uses computer science concept in terms of programming language and the data structures. And also it uses probability and stat for making the predictions or classifications. And especially the core part of data science is machine learning. Without machine learning, we can't able to predict or classify the data. So it is an interdisciplinary field. So data that you are dealing nowadays is very huge. We are realizing huge amount of or massive amount of data. Every user generating massive amount of data. I wish to tell the statistics. 90% of the data in the world today has been created in the last 2 years only. So during pandemic time, we are we faced several issues, and we communicate with others, and we have solved several problems with the help of computers, which involve several data. So 90% of the data in the world today has been created in the last 2 years only. I tell one status is every minute on Facebook, 5,10,000 comments are posted, and 2,93,000 statuses are updated, and 1,36,000 photos are uploaded. This is for Facebook only. We are generating huge amount of data, and the data that you generating, there is a huge volume. Google Trends says that data generated every year from 2010 to 2024. So it reaches several zettabytes of data. So the data that you are generating is very huge in terms of zettabytes, and in that those data we are having some useful information which should be filtered out by using the data science or data analytics concepts only. So we are not always using every data for making the decisions. We need to find the relevant information from that and make the effective decisions. So data science have several steps. Start from business understanding, followed by data collection. We need to do data pre-processing for removing the noises and making the data to extract some information from by the algorithms. Then we do exploratory data analytics to identify the relationship or association between the data. Then we are using model fitting, model evaluation, and deployment. I explain one by one. First one is business understanding. Business understanding plays vital role in the success of a data science project. It can make or break the entire project, so the problem needs to be well defined. So in business understanding, we just understand the problem statement, and uh, this problem statement must be simple and clear as per the business objectives and constraints. What will be the input? What will be the expected output? Why we are using data for making the decisions? Those things you should understand in business understanding stage. Next, we need to collect the data for making the decisions. Since there is no data science without data, so we must understand the business objective and constraints then you should start collecting the data. Data are of structured or unstructured, which contains plenty of noises. Some data are missing. So these things should be identified and fixed. Here we need to determine the potential data sources where you should retrieve the data from the sources. For example, I wish to identify the customer behaviors, means buying behaviors, means I need to collect the data from the supermarket. And if I wish to classify the disease, means we need to collect the data from the hospitals and primary health sources. So these are the things you need to identify for making the predictions or classification. And how much data is sufficient to proceed further, these things should be confined. Then data collected from the several sources, good representation of the problem or not, that should be identified. There may be some situation wherein you collect the data which may not be useful for the making the classification prediction. So you should understand whether this data is very useful for data analytic tasks or not. Next step is data pre-processing. Data pre-processing involves several steps. First of all, we need to check for data consistency, whether we are retrieving the data is there is consistent one. Then we need to check whether it contains missing values or not. If missing values are available, we need to impute them. We need to fill the value by using several strategies. We can, if it is a numerical value, means we can fill the or impute the data with mean value, median value, and more. And if it is a string, means string or categorical type, means we need to use mode concept. Then we need to remove duplicate records or data not useful for data analysis. Then some unusual and outlier data may be available in the data that should be identified. Then we need to transform by mapping different variants of entity to the root. Data generalization and specialization may be useful here. And we need to encode the data. That is, data analytics only deals with the numerical part, so we need to convert it into some other part by using encoding. And data normalization plays a vital role. Data normalization may be useful for that is transforming that is large the data of large range to small range. That is, for example, one employee's salary starting from 10,000 to 1 crore, which yes, there are several variations, means that should be converted into the values which range from 0 to 1. If data contains large variation, the distribution is very large, means we can use data normalization technique. Then we can use software and sorting of data to making the predictions effective manner. Then next step is data analysis. Data analysis, exploratory data analysis is used to identify the nature of the data, whether one attribute or one column values is relevant for input but other input better as well as output better. These things are identified with the help of exploratory data analysis. Some of the standard practices involved are variable identification and its properties. There is nature of the variables and its properties. Then finding the association between the variables, which come under there is we can identify the relation between them by using univariate analysis and bivariate analysis. Several statistical methods are used to analyze the data. Then explore the data through data visualization. For example, if data of 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional, means we can explore the nature of the data by using the data visualization. For example, we can analyze the association between two variables with the help of scatter plot, whether data is having linear relationship or not. Then next one is feature engineering. It's selecting the relevant features for analysis. For example, in exploratory data analysis, we may use correlation matrix or scatter plot to identify the relevant features useful for analysis. For example, one attribute is completely irrelevant of output vector means no need to use that is particular feature. There is another example. We have column vectors, several column vectors for from the particular data. Here, one attribute contains all the values same means no need to use this one because does not impact the output vector. So if all the column values have the same value means you can filter out. So there are several methodologies or manually you can analyze data. Sometimes you may use feature selection methods for identifying the relationship and you can choose relevant attribute for the analysis. Next, we need to use model fitting step. This is a more interesting and core step of the data science project. Um, so modeling is done to find the patterns or behavior from the data, and with the help of this model, we can making the predictions or classification. There are several algorithms available which allow supervisor learning as well as unsupervised learning category. In supervisor learning category, what we do is we supply both input vector and output vector and making the data classification or prediction. In unsupervised learning method, we supply one input data and trying to categorize the data or group the data based on the input nature. Then another method is a recommendation system. That is, you are recommending the product based on the feedback given by the users. Which may be structured one as well as the unstructured one. Next one is model evaluation. In model fitting, we use machine learning algorithms for making the data classification or prediction. Next one is model evaluation. In this model evaluation, we use performance measures, important performance measures such as accuracy, relevance, latency, interpretability. By using these measures, we just evaluate the usefulness or goodness using different evaluation measures. For regression analysis, we may use mean square error, root mean square error, and mean absolute error. For classification problem, mainly use accuracy, precision, recall. Sometimes we may use F1 score. For categorical data, we use logless data. And in clustering problem, we use performance measures like elbow method, intercluster distance, intra-cluster distance, and sellout analysis. If data input data is numeric and output data is output vector is numeric means we may use regression analysis. If input data is numeric, either numeric or discrete, and the output vector is a discrete type means we should use classification. Okay. Clustering, it only involves input vector, so we are in a position to classify the data. Next, deploying the model after building the model, after evaluate, you may do evaluation with the help of performance measures. Then we need to deploy the model by using the app or API libraries. That is making the fine-tuned model available to end users, client, or stakeholders. In Python, we may deploy the model with the help of Flask API, and we can use, if it is a Mensa development, we can use Angular, React, JS. Model deployment also completes the data science project lifecycle. Uh, Actually, we realize the applications of data science several domains, especially finance, retail and e-commerce, airline management, energy, medical and healthcare, and telecom. For example, in finance, we can analyze the there is customer credit history with the help of and stock market prediction. We also use data science. In retail and e-commerce, we can analyze the buying behavior and customer status by using data science, and we can do recommendation system for recommending the product. If it someone is try to assess the product through website, then Amazon and Flipkart the delivery time, reach time, uh, those can be predicted with the help of data science method. In energy field, we can use data science method to predict the energy, windy energy, but at a particular time. And also, while predicting the energy, we have we assess several strategies. For example, it relies on seasons. Actually, prediction involves a season. In some season, in windy season, you may generate several sources of energy, and other time we will not get there is that much of energy. So, based on the input data which is retrieved from the windmill, we can forecast the wind energy, and you can forecast the equipment failure with the help of data science also. The wind equipment failure also can be predicted with the help of data science. In medicine field, just a minute, just a minute. Sorry, I continue this session. In medical field and healthcare, data analytics mainly used for disease classification and can use data science for drug discovery. And I wish to discuss about Python libraries for data science. Mainly, we use Python libraries such as numeric Python, scikit-learn, pandas for data for completing the data science task. Uh, Basically, numeric Python introduces object for multidimensional arrays and matrices, as well as functions that allow users to easily perform advanced mathematical and statistical operations on those objects. Mainly, it is used to vectorize the object and perform mathematical operations. Because data science involves several mathematics concepts, particularly probability and statistics. Many of the Python libraries are built on top of numeric Python only. We can visit information about numeric Python in numericpython.org. There is specification about the numeric Python. Next, another library is SciPython. It's a collection of algorithms for linear algebra, differential equations, numeric integrations. We can solve several optimization problems with the help of SciPython. It is a part of SciPython stack. We built on numeric Python only. So the description and the specification are available in scipy.org. The next one is pandas library, mainly used to retrieve the data from the file and convert it into matrix data in matrix format. It makes use of data frame and series used to perform mathematical task. It adds data structures and tools designed to work with table-like data. It also provides data for data manipulations such as reshaping, merging, sorting, slicing, and aggregations. It also allows handling missing data. Next one is scikit-learn. In scikit-learn, we have several libraries, that is machine learning libraries, like classification, regression analysis, clustering, model validation, etc. It built on numeric Python, SciPython, Matplotlib library. We can visit scikit library implementation by using scikit-learn.org. So here I used to tell how to load Python libraries. By using in Python, we use import keyword to load the numeric Python, SciPython, pandas. We can rename the numeric Python, SciPython, pandas by using the sort keywords. Here I have used as keyword for renaming the Python names. There is a library names, numpy as np, scipy as sp, and pandas as pd. We can use several editors. For example, I use Jupyter Notebook for completing the data science task. Otherwise, we can use the VS Code editor. Here, I so the editor, VS Code editor. I hope you are seeing the editor. Are you seeing the editor? VS Code editor, which contains environment, which contains code sections and also output sections. Uh, so this is the example for running the data science task by through IDE. And also we can use Google Colab for completing the data science task. So the which is provided by the Google. We can retrieve the code file from the local system, Google Drive or GitHub. I have GitHub repository. Can load the file. So here I have data here. You can copy the source and paste it here. You can search. You can load the data from the Google Drive. That is also possible. And we can do data analytics. So this algorithm I used to say here, there is forecasting purposes we use in recursion node that is mentioned here. These are the way to load the file and the libraries. Next, I used to tell about numeric Python, SciPython. Numeric Python, SciPython macro library provide the MATLAB-like functionality in Python. MATLAB is a licensed version, but Python is a open source. In place of MATLAB, we can use Python libraries. The several features which you realize in numeric Python, there is typed multidimensional arrays, and also we can perform past numerical computations, and we can do high-level mathematical operations for the alpha of numeric Python. For example, ordinary Python is very slow only. Ordinary Python does numerical computations slowly. There is conventional Python libraries for performing multiplication among 1000 by 1000 matrices means Python triple loop takes greater than 10 minutes. That is the running time, that is approximate running time is R of N43. N43 and it uses greater than 10 minutes. If you use numeric Python means it takes only less than 1 second, approximately 0.03 seconds. So numeric Python is very fast when compared to the ordinary Python. The data scientists should avoid using basic data like list, tuple, dictionary. If they try to implement Python, there is a data science task. So next, numeric Python contains several programming constructs like arrays, shaping, and transposition, mathematical operations, indexing, slicing, broadcasting, etc.
Hello, sir. Can you meet, sir? Hello, sir. Hello, can you meet, sir?
Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. Now only, sir. Now only. Actually, it was muted. Sir. No,
Oh, okay. Sorry, sir. Okay,
thank
sir.
you, sir. Thank you.
Now okay. Are you okay now, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Clearly.
Yes, sir. So numeric Python arrays can be represented as a two-dimensional arrays. If we use vector means that is represented as a single-dimensional array. If we use tensor means that multi-dimensional data means we can use tensors. That is, if you use color images means the data represented as a convolutional net. There is also an illustration of a multi-dimensional array. These are the examples for numeric Python arrays. Then we can do basic operations. There is a representation of an array with alpha of NP data array constructor, which contains data part. Every row which is represented by using square bracket, and entire rows will be represented as a square bracket. And while initializing the data itself, we can mention the data type. By default, it is represented as a float data type. We can use np.int32 for representing an integer, data as an integer. And also, we have several properties that is corresponding to the array called number of dimensions. There is shape property for finding the shape of the data and the data type. Okay. So arrays can have any number of dimensions, including 0. and arrays are typed. We can use int 8, I mean, unsigned int 8, int the 64, float 32, float 64, etc. And also, we can use attribute for finding the nature of the data. And we have several methods like NP1s, NP0s. We can generate the data from one range to another range with the help of NP range. And we can concatenate to matrix of data by using concatenate method. And we can convert the one kind of data to another kind by using as type. And we can generate the NP zeros and NP ones. There is zeros, zero matrix and one matrix with the help of other matrices. Okay, we can mirror the data, and also we can generate the random numbers with the help of NP data random. So these are the example for NP zeros and NP ones. You need to mention the number of columns with the data type. And also we can use NP zeros function for generate the matrix of data which contains zero only. The data type is that if I mentioned with the help of d type equal to np dot int dot float etc. We can generate the range of data from two particular value, that is upper limit with the help of np arrange function. We can concatenate by data to matrix data with the help of concatenate, and we can convert one data to another kind by using nps type. So by default, the matrix contains floating point value which can be converted into integer type. So these are the example for NP zeros like on one slide. And we can generate the random number by specifying the number of rows and number of columns. So array, while concatenating the data, we need to take care of the dimensions. The dimensions will be matched, otherwise you will face several errors. So while performing these operations, we need to be careful. And we can reset the date, this matrix and array with the help of reset method. Furthermore, this data contains only records which is ranging from 1 to 6. This can be converted into matrix format by specifying the 3, 2 in the reset function. And if we don't know about the size of a number of data that we are having, means we can mention the -1 here. But here we need to mention the number of rows. Automatically it will be converted into matrix type. And if I wish to, I have data in matrix and I wish to convert as a simple array, we can use the Laravel method. We can transpose the matrix with the help of a.t method, and we can use transport function itself. So, and we can do mathematical operations. That is, we can perform arithmetic operation, element-based logical operations with the help of numeric Python. See here, I use multiplication. This is, if you use A star B, means we can do element-based multiplications, 1 into 4, 2 into 4, and 3 into 10. And also we can perform logical operations for every element in a matrix with the help of relation operators. And also we can do solve mathematical operations by using exponential, square root, sine, cos, and you can check for not a number with the help of is NaN function. This is an example for mathematical operation. We can not only doing for simple data, but also entirely we can do for matrix of data. We can do indexing. It is based on zero indexing method. We can do multidimensional indices, which are comma separated. If I wish to access the data which is in column 0 to me, you can use mention row name and column name. And if I wish to retrieve first row and last column, we can mention -1. This is mean for last column. And if I wish to access first row only, but all the columns have, means you can use row number, comma, column. Column means all the columns. And if I wish to access all the columns, all the rows, and the data from the first column, we can